Listen, if you've ever lived in the Philippines or even visited the Philippines, you will know that the Philippines got tons of life hacks that helps you either save money, makes your life a little more convenient. This is just part of the Pinoy way. And if you live here, you'll start doing these things yourself. So I'm about to break down 7 Pinoy life hacks that I picked up, right? Yeah, I learned all of this stuff in the Philippines. So, should we talk about it? Let's talk about it. Now, the first Pinoy life hack, you see it displayed on my thumbnail or whatever. Now, let me explain to the people in the Western world what this is. You see a bowl, right? And there's water in the bowl. Then you see a mug turned upside down in the bowl, and you see a saucer sitting on top of the mug, and then you see my Krispy Kreme donut on the top of that. Why did I do that? Well, this is a cool Pinoy hack to keep ants off of your dessert or off of something sweet. You know, ants are, naturally attracted to sweets and stuff like this. So what you do is you make a bowl of water, you put like a mug or anything like that in there that can, give elevation. You put your saucer on that, and then you put your dessert on that. And guess what? Those ants are not going to risk their life to fall in that water to get to your snack. Pinoys figured this out. Right? But the reason why they had to make up this hack is because this is a tropical country, guys. The insects are strong. Them ants will walk through walls. You will just see a line of them just marching, 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 marching straight to your food if you don't have this defense system in place. When I first saw this, my auntie did this, right? I came in the room, we had some Krispy Kremes and stuff. Just a little box of Krispy Kreme donuts. I come in the room, I see a big bowl of water on the table, a mug or like 2 mugs holding up the box of the Krispy Kreme donuts. And you know what? Immediately I knew what it was. I just put 2 and 2 together. I computed. There's water there. It's elevated. And the saucer, now, by the way, the saucer cannot touch the bowl because that gives them a bridge, right? You got to keep it separated. So when I saw this, I immediately knew what she was doing. And I said, well, damn, that is kind of smart. Okay, auntie, huh? Right? And then I realized that everybody does that. Okay, everybody who's smart in the Philippines, everybody does that. That is your official dessert defense system. Damn! Pinoys recycle plastic bags like crazy. Okay, look, I'm gonna tell you a story, okay? Story time. Damn. When I first moved here, right, and me and Queenie were going to the grocery store, our first couple of grocery runs, we would come back to the house, and of course, I'm carrying everything because I'm macho, man. I don't let her carry any bags because you're short and I'm tall and I'm tough. Damn, right? No. So I carry all the bags, in the house or whatever, and I start immediately getting all the stuff out of the bags, whatever, and I'm tossing the bags, over by the trash can because I'm going to throw them away, right? But what I realize is every bag that I'm tossing, I look over, Queenie's catching them. Give me that one. Oh, give me that one. Oh, give me that one. I'm like, throw them bags in the trash, babe. She's like, I'm not throwing these away. She's like, just give all the bags to me. I'm like, okay, I don't know why I'm giving you all these bags, but okay, fine. Here, take the bags. This happened about maybe 4 or 5 shopping trips until I figured out what she was doing. On that faithful day that I figured out this Pinoy hack, I was looking for a screwdriver, right? And I was looking through the drawers, and I pulled open this one drawer, and there's 9,000 plastic bags in the drawer. Damn! This is where you've been putting all the bags? Why? Because, babe, we recycle bags in the Philippines. I can use these again for something. Yeah, and you know what we started doing? They started being used for like trash bags. They started being used if she wanted to throw something in there. They started to be used if we needed to take something with us. If we're going out, she put it in it. She grabbed one of her little bags. She calls them sandal bags. Do you guys call it that too? Sandal bag? Right? She's like, babe, we have to take a few clothes with us. Grab one of those sandal bags, right? And by this time, I know exactly what she's talking about. I go right to the drawer, open it up, boom, all the bags pop out. Okay, I'll grab a sandal bag. Then you stuff them all back in. I'm like, boom, close it. I got my sandal bag. That's what I learned here, man. Don't throw away nothing if you can use it again. Recycle, reuse, what is the 3 R's in the Philippines? Repurpose, right? Let me make sure I got this right. Recycle, reuse, repurpose. Right? Is that correct, guys? Tell me in the comments, right? Yeah. That's what I've learned in the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste. Don't waste anything. When you live in a country that's a little bit poor, people's mind is a little bit different. When you come from a capitalist rich society, people throw things away in a second. They'll discard something and it has maybe 4 or 5 more uses in it. Okay? And this is the things that I'm learning here in the land of the Kababayan. They don't waste nothing, dog. You know what I'm saying? They can't afford to do that. But even well-to-do or rich families or whatever, families with money, they still do these same practices because it's ingrained in the culture. They're used to, repurposing things and stuff. And so the sando bag is one of the most popular repurposing situations that you'll see here in the land of the Kababayan. Speaking of plastic, right? Something I've never seen before in my life until I came here to the Philippines was when you go to the Sari Sari store, you don't have to buy a bottle of soda. You don't have to buy a can of soda. You can buy a plastic tube of soda. Damn! This is genius. I had never seen this in my life, right? But I saw all these kids walking around with these like cylinder tubes or whatever. You see Royale in there, or you see Coke, and they even put a straw in it, right? They just walk around. I'm like, babe, why are these people walking around with plastic bags with, drinks in it, with beverages in them? She's like, that's one of the cheap ways, babe, to get soda or something like that. Because a can of soda costs a certain amount, a bottle of soda costs a certain amount, but a little tube of soda is super cheap and you still get to drink. Of course, not just soda, water and everything like that. And then, they also use those tubes for ice. You make ice out of them. Dude, if you look at my refrigerator right now, look in the freezer, it's about 4 or 5 tubes of ice up there. I don't use ice trays no more. Damn, right? America is ice cubes. The Philippines is ice tubes. You see the difference? I changed the C with the T, if you didn't get that. Right? So I thought this was genius, dude. I mean, it's another way that Filipinos save money and also give their patrons, they give their customers different options, cheaper options than buying a whole bottle. Some motherfuckers ain't got a whole bottle type money. They might have a few pesos, which is a tube of soda type money, which is okay with them. They don't mind. They walk around with those tubes of soda and tubes of water like it's cool. And it's all about, like I said, having cheaper options for people. That's the whole thing with the sachets. That's why people use sachets of shampoo, sachets of toothpaste. I've talked about this on another episode, but that it goes right back to that same idea, Diba, of being thrifty. You only use what you need. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no big ass gallon of shampoo, but what? How big is your head, man? Damn! All you need is a couple of sachets for the week, okay? And that's the way they think. But the thing about the ice tubes is, for people that are like coming here from the Western world and that are not used to it and stuff like that, you might startle them a little bit when you're preparing the ice, okay? Because the ice tube, to break it up, you either hit it, boom, you hit it on the counter, or you take a hammer, boom, and break up the ice, right? So when my mom was down here, she's like, can I have some ice, son? I said, okay, no problem, Mom. So I politely go into the kitchen, open my freezer, and pull out a tube of ice. Then I get a hammer so I can break it up. Boom, 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 boom. My mom said, what's going on? Are you okay? Everything okay? I'm just making ice, Mom. Damn! She's like, what was all that noise? Oh, I said, Mama, we use ice tubes here. I was just breaking up your ice. She's like, okay. Hey guys, check it out, man. If you're loving the content, man, and you've made it this far in this program, please do your boy a solid and hit that subscribe button. Not only that, but hit the notification bell so you can always be notified when we drop in new content. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because this channel is all about my life, my experiences, and my crazy opinion about living here in the Philippines, aka the land of the Kababayan. So go ahead and do that, and let's get back to it. All right, let's head back into the kitchen, okay? Because there's one Pinoy appliance, okay, and we will call this an appliance, okay, that gets used the most out of anything else. What am I talking about? The rice cooker, of course. You know what I'm saying? Now, rice cookers, in my mind, coming from the Western world, is what do you do with it? You make rice with it, right? No, Queenie makes eggs with the rice cooker, and I'm talking about whole eggs in the rice cooker. This was the first time I seen that. I'm like, I opened the rice cooker, I said, why you got eggs in there? What's going on? She said, I'm cooking my eggs. In the rice cooker? Yeah, because in the Philippines, a rice cooker ain't just for cooking rice. It's like a multi-purpose cooking machine, really. I'm talking noodles, hot dogs, eggs, I mean, even full ulam meals, okay? All cooked in one pot. Everybody don't have microwaves out here and stuff like that, or whatever. We didn't even get a microwave until like we were living here like what, probably 3 years already? Because she was using the rice cooker for like everything, dude. And then me, the only reason why we got the microwave is because I'm just, you know, I'm a spoiled American. I'm just used to having a microwave, so I just got it. But yeah, we rarely even use it. We use the rice cooker like for everything, dude. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's something that needs to be fried, then you use like 200 gallons of oil to do that. Damn! You gotta love it, man. So while your rice cooker is doing all that heavy cooking, look just to the left of that rice cooker on the same counter. If you see a bottle of ketchup or a bottle of any thick sauce or whatever upside down, well, guess what? That's the next hack we're about to talk about. The condiment bottle flip, okay? That's famous here in the Philippines. This hack right here is low-key elite, okay? You ever get down to the last drop of ketchup or whatever thick sauce you're using and you can't get it out? In the Philippines, they flip the bottle upside down, right? So gravity can do its work. And they just stick it in a cup or whatever, and they come back later. By the time you come back, you open that cap, oh, it's all coming out for you, baby. That's what I've seen Queenie do all the time, man, of our bottles and stuff. I'll just see them upside down, and I know what she's doing. She's letting that stuff get to the bottom or whatever. And me, once again, being American, I'm just like, we'll just buy some more. She's like, no, there's still some in here. You're going to use all that. We ain't going to waste none of it. Okay, babe, okay, keep it upside down. Now, speaking of food, you haven't really lived the real Pinoy life until you've eaten off of a banana leaf. In the Philippines, they use banana leaves as food wrappers, as a plate, okay? This is one of the hacks that I noticed in the Philippines. You don't always have to have a plate, okay? The first time I saw this, we went to this place called Boy Sugba, right? And we were doing, of course, the Boodle fight. And this was the first time I seen all the food on a big old green leaf, right? At first look, I thought it was just like a fake leaf, like, just some plastic that they, had painted green and then just put all the food on it or whatever. But then I looked closer, I said, damn, babe, are we eating off of a leaf? She said, yeah, babe, this is a banana leaf. Now, see, I think this goes all the way back to the tribal times of the Philippines before they were using plates and stuff like that. And they still, use that tradition today for certain foods. I'm not saying they eat everything on banana leaves. People use plates and stuff. I mean, it's 2025, okay? But some traditions or whatever are still in use in the Philippines. Traditions that were used before people had plates, before people had utensils, okay? And I just think it's nostalgic or whatever whenever, we eat off of those banana leaves or whatever, because I know it's from a time of old. It's taking it back, okay, to, how they used to eat, right? Just use a big old banana leaf, put your food on there, put your rice and your meats, right? And it just feels so natural. Here's some cool things about eating off a banana leaf. First of all, they're biodegradable, they're non-stick, and 3, they actually add flavor to the food. When the food is put on them and the food is really hot, some of that banana flavor seeps off into that food, man. This is interesting, man. Yeah, no. This is the old school OG way of packaging, okay? No plastic, no foil, no waste, just nature doing its job. Salute and respect to the banana leaf. But since we're talking about tradition, right, and the Filipino way, let me tell you how New Year's sounds out here in the land of the Kababayan. It sounds like this. Poof! You hear that? Pump! It's not it's pump. Why? Because this is the first place I've ever seen someone make a do-it-yourself fire cannon, aka Booga. Do you guys know about that? This was the first time I had seen it, man. Okay, my brother-in-law, right? Of course, I buy all kind of firecrackers, spend all my money and stuff, and come on over to the compound. And the first thing my brother-in-law pulls out is a PVC pipe, just a pipe. And he has like a Gatorade bottle on there, and I think he's got some kind of liquid in there, and he just starts doing like this with it. I'm like, bro, what the hell are you doing? He's like, watch this. He just keeps doing it. Then he has like some kind of like little black trigger or something on it, and he goes like this in the air, and he goes, click, and he goes, boom, like that. I said, whoa, what the hell, man? You tripping? They shooting out here. What's going on? You trying to kill me? Bro, this is a noisemaker cannon. This is what we do in the Philippines. I said, let me see that, my mind. Now I'm intrigued. I want to try it, right? So he sets it up for me, gets it all right for me, and then when I do it, I go pop like that, and it goes whoosh. The fire goes on my hands. Oh, I'm burning out of myself, man. So I'm gonna put out a disclaimer. You gotta know how to do this the right way, or you will burn yourself. You will hurt yourself, right? But the thing about it is, it makes such a big orange, cool-looking flame and a big noise. And they didn't spend no money on it. They just, as I said, they use a PVC pipe, an igniter, okay? And they got a plastic bottle attached to it. They was popping them things all night. You just hear boom, boom. And all the guys had them. Boom, they just shooting in the air. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is cool. Because I had never seen anybody just make their own firecrackers. I mean, we always go spend money on firecrackers. But you know what I'm saying? That's the ingenuity that I'm talking about of the Kababayan. They know that this ain't no rich country. They make up their own stuff with the things that's around them, dude. And I respect that. And so this is why I appreciate a lot of the Filipino hacks that I'm learning out here so much. I mean, I appreciate everything that I learned from the Kababayan, man, because, they think different than the rest of the spoiled rich world, right? They think of, what can I do right now with what I have right here? And that's what you'll learn here in the Philippines, man. I love it, guys. And I'm, going to always tell you about the stuff that I learned and the stuff that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But most importantly, the things that changed my life here in the land of the Kababayan. And so, yeah, man, that's Pinoy Hacks Part 2. We got more coming because there's so much other stuff to talk about. So we're going to get into it next time. But until then, guys, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and watch this video right here. Why? Because YouTube says to watch it. So watch it, dude. Damn. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out.